Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy T for 365 Horror, and this is a horror movie discovery channel. I am just here to put as many horror movies on your watch list as possible. And today we're going to be previewing 6 new releases and getting into my trailer reactions. So let's get into it right now. Now, we are going to get into the video, but before we do, I've got to remind you guys to please like and subscribe if you like this content. Also, this video is best watched with the movie tracker. I like to use Letterboxd. It's just the easiest way to keep track of the movies that you've seen and want to see. I also want to touch on the availability of these titles, as I have personally went to each one of the services and verified that these movies are available. And if you are having trouble seeing them, there is probably one of 2 reasons. One, you might be region locked. And the other reason is if you are using any of the alternative media sites or any of the free stuff, a lot of these movies really just came out yesterday, so they really won't show up on those sites for a couple days. I also wanted to make a note that I have front-loaded these videos and made sure that any of the free movies or any of the movies that are available on services are at the beginning of the video. So once we get to the Prime videos and the Apple TVs, which could be sooner or later depending on the week, you know that it's all pay and for rent from there. And lastly, this is just a preview, and these are just my trailer reactions. As always, I've added chapters and timestamps in the description, so if you don't like any of the movie picks or you don't like my trailer reactions, you're always free to just write down the titles and skip to the next one. And if you did want some reviews and recommendations, then I suggest you watch my new movie review series, the Best I've Watched Lately series, or any of my list series. This here is just a little something for the diehards like me that are always looking for something new to watch. And with that, let's get right into the video. So I do think that the first thing we need to start out with is the elephant in the room and my brand new digs. Well, brand new is kind of relatively speaking. It's still my house. It's still in my house, but it was just like a quick setup that I did put up in my girlfriend's office, and she did let me kind of have that space for quite a while. As you know, you've probably seen. The background hasn't changed in a long time, but we are getting a brand new puppy next week. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I haven't done a puppy in a while. I'm kind of scared of, I'm not scared, but I am nervous. Like, puppies are a lot of work, but there's been a lot of changes around the house. That's why I've kind of been gone for a week or two. We just had to do like some really big kind of puppy proofing the house. So as you can see, this is a very tentative setup. Please, I know it's, the angles aren't right. The lighting ain't right. Like, nothing's really right here, but I didn't want to miss another week. Like, I've already missed 2 weeks. Again, I just wanted to really get back to it. So yeah, now this is my new digs down in the basement with the bugs. I'm just playing. I'm not playing. There's like bugs everywhere, but it's kind of good for her to have her space back. So if you're listening to this, baby, or when you're listening to this, thank you so much for letting me use your office. I really did appreciate it. And I really did get to start something that's cool with a community that enjoys it. So hey man, no harm, no foul. Here we go. One more thing that I did want to touch on before we got right into it is this is only 6 movies. A couple more movies did come out, and I will catch us up on the last 3 weeks. I just kind of handpicked a couple of things that look good to me over, and I will catch us up. But anyways, I said I was going to stop rambling, so let's just get right to it. I know people hate long intros, so let's get right into the movies. So the first thing I want to cover today is there is just one little piece of streaming news, and that is the fact that Sinners is now on Crave and HBO Max. Again, some of this news isn't going to be cutting edge. Next week and the weeks after, we'll get caught up and back to cutting edge. But either way, I just wanted you guys to know that that movie is on those services because it is probably one of the best movies of the year, in my opinion. Again, horror pedigree, maybe, S tier, not best. But for just an overall production, music, everything, best movie I've seen so far this year. So I highly suggest that you check that one out while it's on those services. Okay, so the first movie we're going to take a look at this week is a straight horror named The Twin. And this movie is available on Shudder and AMC Plus. After the tragic loss of his son, a man begins experiencing terrifying visions of a figure that looks like himself. As reality unravels, he must confront his past and the supernatural force haunting him before it consumes him completely. It is directed by J.C. Doler. Okay, so after watching the trailer for The Twin, this one looks like a decent folk horror with some genuinely creepy moments. It's got a lot of that eerie kind of tension going for it, and the twin character is genuinely unsettling. And some of the scenes, like one where he's kind of lurking in the background or he's like all twisted and contorted under the bed, definitely give you some creepy kind of vibes. Especially when it comes to those like jittery, ticky movements that always do like really well getting under my skin. Now, unfortunately, if you're a gorehound, I'm not sure that this movie is going to be for you. It just looks like the film is going to be pretty light on the blood and is going to lean way more into that kind of psychological horror rather than anything that's like a straight up gore fest. And when it comes to the premise, I mean, it's all right. It's not really anything groundbreaking. The film is really giving off some of those familiar vibes, and I really wouldn't be shocked if we didn't get that kind of he is the twin twist kind of ending. Now, of course, this is just a trailer reaction and I could be totally off, but the film does have that kind of setup. All in all, The Twin looks like a watchable flick with some creepy moments and some decent tension, even if it's not reinventing the wheel. And I think I'm gonna give it a regular spot on my watch list.
I don't understand why this is necessary.
You just finished a 1-month stint in an institution.
It's state law that you're monitored.
I'm not crazy. I've been seeing things.
Who's there?
What things?
Me.
Next movie we're gonna take a look at is a horror mystery thriller named Bury Me When I'm Dead. And this movie is available on Prime Video.
Don't be mad at me.
After failing to keep his wife's dying wish, a series of tragic events leads Henry to believe she's returned to get revenge. It is directed by Siebold Krebs. Okay, after watching the trailer for Bury Me When I'm Dead, this one looks like a decent kind of mystery horror flick. And when it comes to the creeps and scares, it does look like it might deliver kind of some light chills, but I really wouldn't expect anything that's like too intense. Because this film definitely feels more suspenseful than scary. And I also felt like gore-wise the film looked a little bit light. Like it may have a raw moment or two, but I don't think it's going to be anything really for the gorehounds. Now the premise for this one is just alright. And while the film didn't completely hook me, just that ominous promise that the main character makes kind of really intrigues me to see exactly what he breaks and where the story goes. And it really feels like one of those stories that may unravel into something deeper if the film plays its cards right. All in all, Bury Me When I'm Dead looks like a watchable mystery with some really good potential. And even though it's not blowing me away from jump, I think this one's going to get a regular spot on my watch list.
We can go anywhere in the world, and you want to go to Albany.
And Cleveland.
Great.
New York City.
Yes, I haven't been to either.
Oh my God, you're really gonna love it.
This is my fault. I did something.
Next movie we're going to take a look at is a horror mystery named Bring Her Back. And this movie is available on Google Play, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime.
We can bring her back.
A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. It is directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. Okay, so after watching the trailer for Bring Her Back, this one looks like a really good kind of supernatural body horror with some real potential. Right off the bat, the creepy imagery is just really on point, and I can already tell that there's gonna probably be some really legit jump scares in there. Like, I really like the movie because even though it's got a good scare factor, I know it's not just there to spook you, but it really wants to kind of give you that good, unsettling vibe that really sticks with you. Now, next we're gonna touch on the gore, and honestly, this one looks raw. First off, I really liked how they handled some of the bodies and gore in the trailer. It's just got this like gnarly kind of decomposition vibe quality that just really does hit different. And some of the visuals are straight up ghastly in the best way. And it feels like we're in for some really nasty and uncomfortable moments that I'm sure gorehounds will appreciate. Now, being an A24 release, I think the production quality is a given. Because visually it looks great and the atmosphere is just really thick. And right off the bat, I'm already into the premise because I'm just wondering like who they're trying to bring back and why. And I also felt this kind of good emotional tension just really bubbling underneath the surface because the stepmom character just is really unhinged and just really kind of desperate. And I also love when resurrection horrors play with those kind of complex, like bringing someone back because I love them, but something's not really right kind of angle. Now, I've been busy, and although I knew this movie came out, unfortunately, I couldn't inform you guys of the trailer as soon as it dropped. But as far as me watching it, that's going to be corrected this weekend, because this movie is getting a watch immediately on my watch list.
Is this their new sister and brother, Oliver? Oliver lost his family just like you guys. Needed someone that could give him special care.
Next movie we're going to take a look at is an action horror sci-fi named Megan 2.0. And this movie is available on Apple TV and Prime Video.
That's strange. Your neurotransmitters tell me you're highly aroused.
All right, that's enough.
2 years after Megan's rampage, her creator, Gemma, resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, the military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole Megan's underlying tech. It is directed by Gerard Johnstone. Okay, after watching the trailer for Megan 2.0, this one looks like kind of a fun, raunchy AI horror ride. And while it doesn't seem really heavy on the traditional creeps and scares, the gore does look solid. It looks like we get plenty of kind of good, brutal kills from both AIs, so I think the blood is going to be a shining spot of the film. Now, production-wise, it clearly has that kind of big theater budget, and I love that they're bringing back like some of the characters from the original. And not only does it look like the acting's on point, but there's already some like kind of good comedic raunchy moments right in the trailer. Honestly, it looks like the film leans more into this kind of battle AI premise, and so it looks even more unhinged than the first one in a good way. And honestly, the premise for this one looks like a wild ride too, because you almost get this kind of Terminator 2 sub-story where you got like the new AI is kind of there to like kill and be this like battle machine. And then you've got like the OG Megan kind of stepping up to be the protector. And I didn't really expect that twist from the film, but I am into it, seeing as this one's kind of more of like an action film. Like Megan 2.0 is like doing all this kung fu, and honestly, she does have some good hands. So I really am hoping for some legit kind of action hybrid horror moments. Now, honestly, I don't think Megan 2.0 looks like the best movie, but it looks like it's going to be bloody, ridiculous, and just like a lot of fun. And yes, right in the trailer, I have to be honest, I was genuinely happy to see the body roll kind of make it back into the film. I can't do it sitting in my chair well, but I love that body roll moment from the first one. It was great. And when I see things like that and like throwbacks to kind of the silliness of the first one, I'm happy to see that this film isn't going to really take itself too seriously. So I really think that this one's going to get like a regular to maybe just a little bit of a higher spot on my watch list.
All right, I'm gonna put this in terms you can understand. I'm not the only killer robot. Amelia's stronger than you can imagine. And she's coming after anyone who can stop her. Including you, Gemma. Which, you know, bummer.
All right, guys, next movie we're going to take a look at is a straight horror named The Banished. And this movie is available on Prime Video.
Welcome home.
Terror is a Place. It is directed by Joseph Sims-Dinette. Okay, so after watching the trailer for The Banished, this one's shaping up to be a pretty decent occult survival horror. And for starters, it looks like it's packing some pretty good creeps and scares, especially in kind of the dark wilderness scenes. Because I really thought that the forest setting gave us a good kind of layer of tension, and with some of the occurrences, like you see a part where someone's kind of like looking into a corner, I really just got these kind of Blair Witch vibes, even though, to be clear, this movie is not found footage. Now, gore-wise, the trailer just doesn't really show much. Like, I wouldn't really be surprised if there was some like kind of bloody ritualistic gore stuff in there, but I don't think that there's going to be like graphic killings. This is another film that looks like it's kind of trying to lean on eerie atmosphere as opposed to just outright brutality. And like the premise for this one does feel really familiar because you just have a bit of a trope where, you know, someone's family member goes missing in the middle of the forest and now they're out there kind of trying to find them. But with such a dark kind of creepy atmosphere, we could get something a little bit unsettling, because I've always found that dark forests are just really naturally spooky. All in all, The Banished does look like it could kind of scratch that creepy occult itch if you are in the mood for something more kind of atmospheric in tone. So I think this one's going to be getting a regular spot on my watch list.
I need your help.
Your brother left months ago.
It's the utopia.
Have you been there?
No. You don't come back.
Nothing's gonna happen to you as long as you're with me. Promise.
Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray.
All right, guys, last movie we're going to take a look at this week is a comedy horror named Happy Ending. And this movie is available on Prime Video.
Men like you are what's wrong with women like me.
A sexually frustrated couple attempts to revive their spark at a seedy massage parlor, but their adventure turns deadly when an unhinged customer pushes a masseuse too far. It is directed by Jennifer Wolf. Okay, so after watching the trailer for Happy Ending, this one looks like an all-right kind of comedy slasher. And although it doesn't look like it's bringing much in the terms of creeps and scares, we may get like a tense moment here or there. Now, as for the gore, the trailer really only shows a couple of creepy moments, but one of them being like blood between some chick's legs, so it does have a little bit of a raw element to it. So when it comes to kind of the gore and the blood, I feel like because of the trailer, it just could go either way. Now, production-wise, this film does feel a little bit indie, but definitely I wouldn't call this like B-movie territory. The quality looks decent enough, and when you're just watching the film, it doesn't like scream low budget. And aside from production, I did think that the premise seemed kind of interesting. Like, we rarely ever kind of see a film about sexually frustrated couples. Like, I feel like just even the angle is kind of intriguing and did catch my attention. That being said, I really was hoping for a little bit more raunch out of the trailer. When it comes to a film like this being like a horror comedy, again, about the whole sexual frustration and going to a masseuse for some like kinky time, I really just wanted them to kind of push the boundaries a little bit more. Like, I really wanted them to kind of lean into that inappropriate humor, especially if it's a horror movie, but the trailer, unfortunately, it just doesn't give me that full vibe. So by now, to the regular watchers, it's no secret that I'm not really a big fan of horror comedy, but I'm always interested in something that's kind of trying to give the genre a little bit of a new spin. So although I am kind of interested in Happy Endings, I think it's just going to get like a little bit of a lower spot on my watch list.
Jordan was telling me about this spa.
You'd do that?
Only if you went with me.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of previewing brand new releases to watch and stream. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you did find a couple of gems for your watch list, please leave me a like and subscribe. Now, if I had to make a couple of picks this week, I think the first pick is going to be painfully obvious, and that's going to be the movie Bring Her Back. I've heard just so much about this movie. I was going to go watch it in the theater. You know, me and my girl were kind of trying to incorporate some date nights. That's why we went and saw Sinners, and we were going to go see this movie, but I didn't get a chance, and I'm kind of sad because I know it's one of the more lauded kind of movies of the year so far. So I can't believe I've slept on this so much. Like, I feel so kind of out of touch. Like, it's only been 3 weeks and I feel out of touch. Like, damn. So I am looking forward to that movie. I just think not only does it look like it's got some good creeps and scares, I love A24. I love most of the stuff they do. I think it just has a really eerie, creepy vibe, and the way the bodies look and like come alive and like just the dead look in the eyes, it just gave me a really kind of creepy, unsettling kind of vibe to it. And I've just obviously heard, you know, not only is this a big budget movie, so I've got to watch those, but I've just heard that this movie was so good. I'm sure that there's going to be a ton of people in the comments who are like, I seen it, because it's 3 weeks old even to stream. So they're probably going to be like, I seen it, and tell me how good it is. And I'm expecting it, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm definitely going to rectify that this weekend, and that's going to be my first pick of the week. And my second pick of the week, again, doesn't look exactly like the best movie, and I know it kind of has a silly vibe to it, but I think it's going to be Megan 2.0. I kind of enjoyed Megan, like the first one. I thought it was funny. I know it's kind of, I don't want to use the word hokey, but it's got kind of that hokey vibe to it, but I think it's trying to intentionally be that way, and so I can kind of enjoy it and try to like it for what it is. Again, total triumphant return to the body roll, which I'm really happy to see them do. So that was kind of funny. I probably look completely foolish doing it. I wish I had a mirror to kind of practice it a bit, but yeah, I just love the body roll, man. When she breaks into that dance in part one, it's hilarious. In this part, it's like her and the little girl are kind of doing it. It just looks hilarious. So yeah, that one. Plus, looks like it's got some good action, great kills. They're robots, so they're punching through people's heads. Megan looks like she got like some kung fu grip, you know, Matrix style chip in the neck upgrades. So it's going to be interesting to see her have this kind of Terminator 2 protector vibe in this second one. I really love how they're flipping that one on its head. So that being another big budget movie and a sequel to a movie I didn't mind, I think that's going to kind of earn it, maybe unfairly, but it's going to earn it the second spot of my picks this week. Well, guys, that's it for me for real this time, as I have got a ton of movies to watch. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. I appreciate you. To all of my regular viewers, I've missed you guys, and we are back in full effect. I hope you guys have been good and taking care of yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Wait, did that show? Peace. I don't know where it shows yet. All right, guys, next time.
Yes, it's me. What a shock, etc.